Today we're going to continue talking about surface area, but we're going to focus on pyramids and cones. Now a pyramid is a 3D figure or a polyhedron with one polygon base and lateral faces that are triangles. A regular pyramid is just a pyramid that has a regular polygon base with congruent lateral figures. A cone is a 3D figure with one base and a vertex that is not in the same plane. So below we have an example of a pyramid and of a cone. Now the other new term we're going to talk about is the slant height. And the slant height is the distance along the lateral face from the base to the vertex. So the slant height is like if we laid a piece of string along the side of a pyramid or along the edge of the cone. That would be our slant height versus the height, which goes directly straight down to a 90-degree angle. So if you look at our two diagrams, we have the slant height along the edge and the actual height straight down. Same thing with the cone. The slant height is along the edge of the cone. The height is perpendicular. Now, the lateral area of a pyramid is half the perimeter times the length, or times, the slant height. So to find the perimeter here, we're going to take 32 4 times, and we get 128. Our slant height is 34 along the edge of the pyramid. So we find our lateral area, it's half of 128 times 34, or 2,176 square inches. Our surface area is going to be similar to a prism, but there's only one base, so it's the lateral area plus the area of the base. Our lateral area, again, is 2,176, and the area of our base is 32 times 32, or 1,024. So our surface area is going to be lateral area plus our base, giving us 3,200 square inches. Cones are very similar, but the lateral area is going to be pi RL. Pi times the radius times the slant height. Now, this actually does work the same as a pyramid, because we know that our perimeter is circumference, and so that's where that comes from. But anyways, looking at our lateral area is pi RL, the radius is 5, and our slant height is 15. So our lateral area is going to be 5 times 15 times pi, and we're just going to leave it as 75 pi. It's a much more exact answer. Our surface area is the lateral area plus the base, just like our pyramid. So we already know our lateral area of 75 pi. The area of our base is pi r squared because it's a circle. So 5 squared is 25. So our area of our base is 25 pi. And we add 75 pi plus 25 pi, and our surface area is 100 pi square units. A couple more examples. Find the lateral and surface area of each figure. Well, if we look at the first one, remember when we have lateral area of a pyramid, we need half the perimeter times the slant height. Well, that's a problem because we don't have the slant height. But because we know Pythagorean theorem, we can find the slant height by creating a right triangle. As you can see here, I've taken the height of 8, 3 is half of the base, and then I'm going to find the slant height because I know height and base hit at a 90-degree angle. So doing that, I can find the slant height using Pythagorean theorem, and I get the slant height of about 8.54. Putting that into my formula, half of the perimeter, there are 4 sides of 6, which is 24, times the slant height, I get the lateral area of 102.48 square inches. And then the surface area is going to be the lateral area, which I just found, plus the area of the base. And the area of the base is 6 times 6, so 36. My total being 138.48 square inches is the surface area. Now we're going to actually have the same triangle on the next figure. It just worked out that way, that we have to find the slant height again, and my dimensions are the radius of 3 and the height of 8. So my slant height is actually going to be, again, 8.54. Now putting that into my formula, pi times the radius, which is 3, times the slant point, 8.54, gives me 25.62 pi square inches. Surface area then is that number plus the area of the base. Area of the base is pi r squared, so our radius squared is 9 pi. Adding them together, we get 34.62 pi square inches. And again, we leave them in terms of pi just because it's a much more exact answer and much easier to work with. Alright, your turn. Find the surface area of each figure. In the first one, you should have gotten 47 inches squared by finding the perimeter of 16, finding the perimeter of 16 and multiplying that by the slant height of 4. And then adding the area of the base, 3 times 5, which is 15. In the second one, you should have gotten a surface area of 90 pi square meters. Again, you can see that the slant height is 13 and 5 is the radius, so we get 65 pi for the lateral area, and then add that to the area of the base, which is 25 pi, we get 90 pi meters squared. If you need to pause the video and look at things, please do. And that's it. We're done with surface area, and we're going to start moving on to volume.